Hello again. I wanted to share something with you. Found out finally after, let's see, a good solid 4 years of being sick and being misdiagnosed and poked and prodded and tested, and things have been missed. I found some really good doctors and was able to get a diagnosis. And I'm going to share that just a little bit with you. But I want to talk about a few things that's just funny to me. The diagnosis that I have so far, in addition to, there are a bunch of other illnesses, but the main one that focus will be on trying to maintain or put into remission is dermatomyositis. So what's not funny, it's rare, and I have to learn more about it. But what is funny to me is that in our house, because we homeschool, we will now take that word and this will become a homeschool project. This is a way for us to learn. So I have taken the word. My child will see this word as something as simple as this, recommended by Diane Kraft, who you must, if you need any help with your child visually, if they have any vision issues. And I'm not talking just about eyeglasses, but visual convergence, insufficiencies, anything like that. This method of learning, of spelling and writing has really worked for us. So we're going to take that word, dermatomyositis, and we are going to break it down so that not only I will learn what it means, but my child will learn what it means. We are going to learn how to spell it using a method taught by Diane Kraft, whom, as I mentioned it, love her methods, and check into her because she's awesome. So we have taken the word, and so we put it in different colors, which I just love that this works. This is a way we take a picture, if you will, of the words. This is how I've actually always done this, but never really thought about how I spell things. And now this is a 15-letter word, I believe, and my 8-year-old will be able to spell this forward and backwards. So that is one thing we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to see how many words we can make within this one word. And we can see Matt, we can see the name Tom, moat, we'll find all words that are 3 letters or higher, and we'll make a list of those. We'll study the meaning, we'll find out more about it, and who knows, maybe we can do a science experiment on me to figure out maybe a cure or something. Who knows? But only, it seems, in homeschool would a goofy mom think, gee, I have a disease. Let's see how we can incorporate that into our learning. And I bet if you watch this enough for, let's say, 4 minutes every day, you too will be able to spell this word forward and backwards. Just look at it, study it, close your eyes, take a picture in your mind, and you too will be able to spell this 15-letter word. You may not know what it means. I don't either, but that's okay. As long as you can spell it and you can do some fun things with it, anything you can turn into education. And the important thing is that your child is learning something, and something important, and who knows what we can all learn from this. And when I know more about this illness, I can share more with you. I can tell you that it is not lupus, as I thought it was, but it is an autoimmune disease. And if you can tell, which I don't know if you can, but I get rashes, and I've had what I thought was a malar rash, which I've been documenting. I believe it's called a hypertrophic rash. The same exact rash, they just call it something else. Today was so much fun. I had a bilateral renal biopsy, not biopsy, excuse me, an ultrasound of my kidneys for hydronephrosis. Yet another fun word we can learn how to spell and do other fun things with. And then I had to have my blood drawn. One thing I do want to say, I have a friend that I'm thinking of right now who's in a very cold place. I will not mention her name, Reach. And she talks about advocating and sometimes how that's hard for her. And I would recommend, I'm going to give you an example of reasons that you should advocate, not only for yourself, for your children, but for yourself. I've been ill for many years, and I have fought and I have advocated, and I actually gave up. I had really, at this point, given up. And I found two really wonderful doctors I've been blessed with. And so today, when I went, finally knowing my diagnosis, part of it anyway, I went and had to have blood drawn. And as usual, no matter how much water I drink or anything, I have one good vein, and that's it. And even then, sometimes it rolls and collapses. And anyone who has anything to do with having a hard time giving blood, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I go in always advocating for myself. And I went into the laboratory today to do so and was told to not squeeze the tomato. Now, for those of you who know, like they'll have little balls and you squeeze them. And I'm always trying to slap my arm, get it warm, get that one good vein going. And I was told, don't squeeze the tomato. And I said, okay. Then I asked her why, because I was actually kind of hurt feeling because I was tired. It was too early for me. But I finally asked her why, because no one has ever told me that in 10 years. The reason, she said, is when you pump the tomato or the squeezy ball, it actually elevates your lab levels, your results. So, for example, if you have normal potassium and they're checking your potassium level and you squeeze the squeezy ball and keep pumping it, your potassium level will go higher. If it goes higher, you may get medicines that you don't need. And I thought that was absolutely fascinating. So by asking the question, I got a good answer, and now I will never squeeze a ball. She did say you could hold on to it, but don't pump. And that's really important for those of us who are ill and deal with things like this. So I also told her I was a hard stick and that I drank my water, talked to my vein, told it to behave, but I always am a hard stick. I asked if she was a phlebotomist. This is important for those of us who have to get blood drawn. She said she was. She said she had to work at least a year in the place she worked before she could even stick anybody. Okay? Please use pediatric needle. Don't need to, she knew everything. And she stuck me in my vein. She did listen, and she stuck me in my vein. Let's see if we can get it over. And my first vein, which is not too bad. I'm trying to see if I can see. Right there. Can barely see the little bitty mark. And she stabbed it in, and I could feel that I went under the vein. And my vein rolled, and it collapsed. So then she started listening a little bit. She said, I'm going to try something different. And so she did. And this was so much fun. Oh my goodness, I would recommend this to anybody. She put something really tight, and I'm kidding, by the way, it's my sarcasm. And she stabbed me again. Can you see that? Loveliness. She said that never happened before. Well, yeah, it's happened to me. I told her even that people have stuck me 5 times and left crying because they don't listen to me. And now I have it's a huge lump, and it's purple. And she's like, that's going to hurt. Yeah, it is, but not you. So then she was going to give up. And I said, well, I really need the rest of the blood drawn. So could you find someone else? She says, I only stick twice. Okay, well, could you find someone else then that would do it? So another person came in, and they put an infant warmer on my hand, and then they stuck me in my hand, they heated it up, and of course there's that, and then they got the rest of the blood that they needed, but I have to go back Monday to freeze some of my blood. So guess what? The only vein that I had that works is all messed up. And this is all bruised, and my hand, I'm going to have to go back on Monday and give more. And my other arm has no good veins whatsoever. So I don't think I'm going to have much fun on Monday. What else? So advocate for yourself. Sometimes it's useless to do so, but I think after today, the people, when I go back to see them, because I'm seeing them, and they were really, really nice. They just kind of didn't hear me, and it's really important because if you don't advocate for yourself, not only will things like this happen, but other things